there's really not a component of your life or your body that can't be affected by your sleep.
Yeah, isn't that true? Back to school season in full swing here in Colorado, with many districts already back in session, some starting today. And while it can be an exciting time, a new school year often brings a new set of challenges, especially when it comes to adjusting to that early morning schedule. Here with me to help ease the burden for all the people who are waking up early is Dr. Michaela Littlefield, a family medicine physician at HCA HealthONE. Thank you so much for coming in.
Thanks for having me.
Appreciate it. All right, so we've heard people talk about the importance of sleep for years now, decades now. Why is sleep so important?
Yeah, we know sleep is for rest. We all know that, but sleep is a time when the body and the mind do really important functions. It supports immune systems. Children actually consolidate memories. They process new information. And then it's a time when growth hormones, which are obviously important for growing children, are also released in the body. So it's so important for more than just rest. And children who get adequate sleep tend to do better in school. They focus, they regulate their emotions, and they just perform well academically.
See, we should all be getting more sleep, even the adults too. So how many hours is right for kiddos and then maybe adults too, even though we don't want to hear it?
Yeah, I know. So, every age has different requirements and needs, and obviously it's individualized too. Newborns tend to sleep 16 to 18 hours a day, and then school-age children need anywhere from 9 to 12 hours, and then teenagers, high school is usually 8 to 10 hours.
Okay.
Yeah.
So up there with adults too.
Yes.
We should have 8 to, so what, 7 to 8?
Ideally, 7 to 8, 9.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I'll try for that, but I don't think that's happening. All right, let's talk about healthy sleep habits. What should kids be doing before they wind down?
Yeah. Anytime a child sees a parent do behavior and model behavior, a kid is more likely to do that. So having healthy sleep routines in the home is really important. Calming music before bed, taking a warm bath, reading a book, and then limiting screen time. Ideally, an hour before bed would be great to help promote healthy sleep, going to bed and staying asleep.
If I had to choose one from that list, what would you say is the most important?
I would say screen time is so important. When we're consuming tablets, phones, TVs, that light comes in and it actually can delay or decrease the body's natural release of melatonin, which is a molecule in the body that regulates sleep. So when we do that, it's harder to sleep. And of course, we all want to scroll on our phones, the high school kiddos when they get phones, but limiting that to an hour before bed, no screen time, can really help your body know when it's time to rest.
I know all the phones have night mode or whatever now. That probably is just hogwash. Does that actually work or no?
I'm sure it helps, but when you're scrolling and you're consuming things, your brain isn't in a restful mode as it is. So it's probably just best to decrease all intake from screens and technology an hour before bed.
Read a book.
Yes.
So what is the most important thing that families should know when it comes to getting kids sleep?
Yeah, so I think establishing those habits early on is really helpful, especially in the transition from summer to school. So having the same bedtime and wake times, it can be easier during the week, right? But on the weekends, if you establish that too, it's very helpful because then your body has an internal clock, a circadian rhythm, so it knows when to rest. Other things like limiting caffeine during the day is a huge one, especially for high school kids. Encouraging physical activity during the day so that your body needs rest at night. It's a little bit easier to fall asleep. Limiting screen time, and then creating a cool, quiet sleep environment is really helpful. Just so when families prioritize sleep, everyone benefits.
What about dinner before sleep? Is there a certain time frame we should stop eating before we try to wind down?
I think for adults, that's a little bit, we try to say 2 to 3 hours before you sleep to prevent heartburn or reflux or anything like that. For kiddos, getting nutrition in is really important. So if it just so happens that they eat dinner late and then they go to bed, understandable, but ideally a couple hours before sleep helps them to regulate and be restful before bed.
Perfect. Dr. Littlefield, thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you for having me.
I have so many things on my list that I have to talk to you. We're going to make it a routine, I promise.